We need business leaders, not excuses. So listen, learn, and go do it. This is the Biz Tools Podcast. Now, just two guys, a girl, and a lot of caffeine. It's David Specht, Sean Green, and Molly Corbett.
Welcome to the Biz Tools Podcast.
Who are you, Jerry Frentress?
Yeah.
You got hand motions.
What is this? What are we doing here? What is this thing in front of my face? I am Sean Green. I'm one of your three hosts. Across the table to my left is Malls Corbett. Hey,
I'm
Molly.
always on the left.
Yeah.
How's it going, people?
That's the progressive side,
Yeah.
boys and girls.
Yeah. And on the right, sort of, David Specht.
What just happened?
Also known as Colbert.
He's our Stephen Colbert. This is the Biz Tools Podcast. If you never listened to us, we talk about
We apologize.
Yeah, in advance.
Yeah.
We take a business leadership lesson and we kind of talk around it, and then we sort of
Pound the
discuss
living
it.
hell out of it.
Yeah. We will talk about it at the end if you got questions for us, but you can also find us on Twitter and Facebook, and we're not on Instagram or Periscope or
We could be if you really wanted to be.
Pinterest or any of those. So, just the ones people use. So, just find us on there. You can also email us at ask@thebiztools.com.
You got it.
Yeah.
Wow.
You did
And we
that.
got a YouTube channel.
Yay!
Supposedly it's YouTube/thebiztools.
// all that. Yeah.
We don't know.
Man,
Okay, so Molly, what are we talking about today?
today we are talking about willpower in our lives. Before you get upset and start thinking
Will
about the
to Power.
treadmill,
Isn't that a group?
what we're really talking about is being intentional to win.
Being intentional to win.
I love this topic because I'm all about being intentional.
We'll go.
But it's a new. It's
Well,
a
then
new,
talk.
It's all about
a
you.
new discuss. I'll give you a topic. It's all. It's for me. It's all in the last few years of my life because being intentional is less putting out fires,
Ooh, yes.
right?
And
right on
preventing
it.
them?
You're right
How
on it.
how many times have we spent a week putting out the fire in front of us and we haven't done anything intentional for our business?
Oh, yeah, it's called every month.
Oh, shut up! Shut up.
Every day of every month.
Every
for
day
me.
of my life.
No, but being intentional, I mean, think about it. And it gets back to the audiobook I'm listening to. So if you listened last week, you know what I'm talking about. In the book Essentialism, he talks about how you should do less things better.
Right.
That there are some good things.
Specialize, baby.
Yeah, there's some good things that you're probably doing, but they're taking away from the essential things that you know you're supposed to be doing, and so you don't do them as well.
Right.
And that's what really being intentional means. We talk about lists, we talk about all these other things that we do, but it all gets back to having a plan, working the plan, sticking to the plan, and short of an emergency room visit, don't let anything on the outside get you off track.
Right.
But that's difficult.
Oh, well, gee. I'm sorry that life is difficult, Mr. Green.
Well, but I'm saying, how do you do that? What are some tips to do that, though?
Oh, that's the.
How do you
it's
stay
easy.
focused?
It's easy to tell people. It's very hard to do.
Well,
Right.
But some of the things, the tools that we've given you on the show, the calendar.
Yeah, the calendar.
If
is
it's not
crucial
on the
for me.
if it's not on the calendar, it doesn't exist. I use Wunderlist for making lists. That
Yeah.
keeps me. But the other part is every day saying, you know what, when I get home tonight, I want to be able to look back on this day and say I accomplished these things.
You know what? What a great point, David, because how often are we thinking more about looking to the next day, which is still important. We need to be doing that and being prepared for that 9:00 meeting that we may or may not have remembered, but Google has a plan for us. And loves us
All
and
hail
tells us. But looking back,
Yes.
how did the day go? What was most productive? What could have been done better? What's my takeaway from yesterday?
Yes.
That's a great question. Actually, that's kind of transformational for me right now because that's not something that I've been doing, but I'm going to make that a practice. Look at me learning on the podcast.
golf clap. Golf clap for everyone,
Yay! Hi, I'm Molly, and I'm transformational. Hi, Molly.
Well, for me, it's all about reminders. I
Yeah.
either need someone to keep me on track,
Yes.
or and you can't. Can you see it? I don't think they can
Itty
see
bitty.
it. My wedding ring, my second wedding ring.
Oh, I
'cause
thought that
lost the first one. Shh.
I thought that was your Green Lantern ring.
Yeah, it is my Green Lantern ring.
It's your wedding Green
it's my
Lantern
wedding.
ring?
It's my wedding band.
Love that about him.
Yeah,
That
but
Jimmy.
the power of the Green Lantern is powered by willpower.
Ooh.
And so for me, it's a visual reminder every
Yes.
time I catch it when I'm playing with the ring, because I always finger my ring. Shut up!
Yikes.
Shut up!
Yikes.
Shut up!
Oh, God.
Let it go.
Help us, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're our only hope.
Yeah. So again, willpower. I'm going to power through that. Every time I look at it, it reminds me to be intentional. To I'm doing a diet right now that sucks, and I hate every second of it, and I'm tired of
poor
eating
thing.
chicken and broccoli. But I committed to it for 12 weeks, and so now I'm on it for 12 weeks.
Good for you.
And it's that way every facet of my life.
Well,
I have to be intentional in my marriage. I have to be intentional in my work life.
Oh, yes.
Amen.
Here we go.
Amen. What's that meme? The grass is greener where you water it, dumbass. Yeah, not on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's that?
This
That's
episode brought to you
intentional.
by. Never mind.
Marriage counseling 101.
That's being intentional, and it's just like you nurture a marriage, you nurture a business, you nurture a friendship, you nurture everything.
And here's something that we probably don't put enough thought into, but every opportunity, every decision, everything that you put time or effort into, you need to look through the prism of, is it getting me closer to my ultimate goal?
Absolutely.
If it's not, don't do it.
Absolutely. I just had a meeting this morning with my business coach, and one of the things that we talked about is how I am coming to a place where I'm learning to discern for myself, and that's a really important tool in business.
Yes.
Is discernment. Discern for myself what things are helping. I have two goals. I want to nurture and enrich my family, and I want to nurture and enrich my business. And so everything is viewed through the prism of those two. It's like a dual prism, and if it's not contributing to either one of those things, I'm cutting it. And that's bad news for some people in some organizations, because I do bring a lot of energy when I come into the room. And when I'm present, I'm definitely there. But if it's not helping my business, if it's not helping me nurture my family, I can't do it.
And this will be Molly's last podcast recording, apparently. Is that how you're bringing it to us, Molly?
No, God. Let me tell you boys something. I love this so much. You saw how I came into the room today. I come bouncing in like Tigger. It's ridiculous.
But she's absolutely right. If your ultimate goal is, and we've talked about, we do the goal thing every January, how many times you go back to that thing and say, okay, is what I did today getting me closer to that or further away from it?
I don't think we do it often enough, but we need to.
No, and one of the things is that it'll permeate every area of your life. If you've got somebody who's working for you or with you that's not pulling their weight, and you look back at the day and you're like, wait a minute, they're taking me further away from my goal, it'll help move you in that direction of making that tough decision that you really don't want to make.
Absolutely.
Sean talked a few podcasts ago about, I just really don't feel like ruining that person's life today, so we're just going to let it go for today. Today's been a good day. But if you look at it and you go, gosh, I got more work to get towards my goal because of this person, then all of a sudden it's like, look, I got to cut this. I got to cut them loose. It's going to be better for them and for me, because I'm not going to resent the heck out of them.
Makes it nice and clean, doesn't it?
Yes. And it doesn't make it makes the decision easier. It doesn't make the act any easier.
No, that's just where intestinal fortitude comes into play. Sometimes you just have to man up and do it.
I know.
Well, that could be the
sucks.
whole theme for this whole thing.
Yeah.
Just man up and do it, because
right, because that's what
really
intentionality is about.
Yeah, that's really what it takes. Is you just
And we believe that the people who listen to this podcast at least get that to some degree. Otherwise, they wouldn't be listening to a business podcast.
Sometimes we just need a reminder.
I know how entertaining we all are, but I mean, it's just one of those things. It's like, well, and I was very. At first, I was taken aback, but I had gotten some feedback about the podcast, and they're like, "Yeah, I like the podcast, but the one episode that you did didn't exactly help me. So, if you do too many of those, I'm not going to listen." I was like, "Ooh,
wow! Oh, you don't need help. You got everything you need.
Yeah.
Okay, dude."
I was like, but I got it. I said, you know what? We can get off track to that point to where we're not gaining ground.
Yeah.
Good things can still get you off course.
Right. We have to be just as intentional in this podcast and its direction as we are in the other professional pursuits of our lives.
Right. And that's one of the things that we took a hiatus from the breakfast.
Yeah.
Because we quit seeing movement both towards our goals and towards the people who came's goals.
And I have really been missing those breakfasts.
Especially the sausage balls.
Oh my gosh.
get more people to come.
But that
Better people.
There
Did
were
I say
people.
that?
Oh, I didn't say that.
You can write Molly at Molly
Yeah.
Corbett,
No,
4250
listen,
The
it's
views
all
expressed
for the
by
sake of the joke. All for the sake of the joke, people.
The views expressed by Molly Corbett are
Are not necessarily those expressed. That's right. I get in trouble for that. I've been fired before.
But intentional will never work without willpower.
No.
I think about I too am trying to diet, and
Bless his heart.
and my wife loves to cook, obviously, and she'll like make Saturday's a good example. She was doing other cooking, but then she makes a pineapple upside down cake.
Oh, what are you gonna do?
And I'm
You're
like,
only human.
I'm like, babe, you're not helping. And I had to say, I do not want, but I didn't. I ate a piece of pineapple upside down cake, and I was like, well, I'll start after the holiday, because I don't have the physical will. I have the willpower up to a point.
You're only a man.
Dang
It's a
it.
pineapple upside down cake.
Hello.
And I know how she
Okay.
cooks, so I bet it was scrumptious.
Well, I'm going to bring this up. This is my problem when it comes to willpower. It's fatigue.
Oh yeah.
I'm committed to something, I'm committed to something.
Sure.
In pretty much every facet of my life. But at certain points, I hit a wall where I go, I've been doing this for 6 weeks, and I need an extended break.
Times of refreshing, I think, are key as well.
Right. But my problem is that I never get back on.
Oh yeah.
That's my problem. Is that once I take that break, it's so hard to get going again.
Okay, and we are, I think, in that respect, that is specific to diets. Now we do. Wait a minute, we have a little bit more leeway with that kind of thing in our professional life, though. Although I think you probably do approach it very much like your diet because you're a machine like that, man.
Well, yeah, I try to. What my suggestion was going to be, because this is what I found, is whenever I do get fatigued, I try to build in respites, if you will.
Yeah.
I try to build in, okay, so I'm going to do this I have a 3-week time period where I'm on this for forever, 24/7, and then when that 3-week period is up, I'm going to take 2 days and do this.
Yeah.
And then I'll try
you
you've
said
gotta
you're
be
big
able to
about
shift
reminders too.
Yeah.
So you just set up your reminder for yourself to get back on it.
Well, what I do is I just know that it's in my brain now. Okay, it's set. Okay, so this is done. I get 2 days of rest. That's awesome. And then I go back. It's like the gym. I'll work out for 4 to 6 weeks, then I take a rest week. Usually because I'm just beat up and I'm just tired of going to the gym every night.
Absolutely.
So I take that week off, but then I go and get back. I don't.
Yeah, it's really important. The thing is, though, rest is a principle. It's a timeless principle. For those of us who believe the biblical record, God did a whole lot of stuff and then he rested, right? Same thing with us. We need to build in. I love how you said build in those respites, if you will. That's a great example. And they need to be
different words.
You're very good at it.
Yeah.
He's a
Good job,
wordsmith.
Sean.
I'm a wordsmith.
But they are just as important to be in our calendar as the intentional aspect.
Oh, yes.
We need to be as intentional about the respites as we are about the work.
Well, Sean and I had something Friday. We came up on a holiday weekend, and for whatever reason, this marketplace, if there's a 3-day weekend coming up, they start leaving Thursday afternoon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So
they're
we
gonna
knew Friday.
Squeeze it out of it, baby.
Friday was going to be a dead day.
Yep.
And I mean, we could, we're going to have a planning meeting on Friday, and we're going to do it. And I knew that we were all hitting burnout, and we were going to have to be able to jump in on Tuesday and really push to the deadline to
Right.
get where we want to go. So first thing Friday morning, Sean and I, for those of you who did not know what the Friday before Labor Day was Star Wars Force Friday, where all the merchandise
if
for
the
the
camera
new
could just pan over.
Yeah.
Yes.
See.
and so we basically blew at least 2/3 of the day.
Yeah.
Just going and hitting all the places locally that were participating in Force Friday.
That was a great day for you guys.
Oh yeah, it was my Black Friday.
Yeah.
But
it,
I had several friends that were participating and celebrating with you.
see.
but
But you need those days because it's the days where you get beat down.
Yes.
You can come in and my worst days are when I'm just so busy, and then I'm keep getting bad news after bad news. Somebody said no, somebody's not answering.
It's like a bad news explosion.
Yeah, this fell through, and then you have the good days too, where everything seems to click and just kind of flow along. But you're going to have, in my experience, more bad days than you will good days.
Right.
And so it's nice to have those brief days where you just take a break from all of it, at least for a little bit.
Yeah.
and then you just get right back on. But I have to know in advance.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't have something, that's how I work, and that would be my advice, is to try to build this stuff in. Because if I have a monkey wrench thrown in and we're like, hey, we're not going to work today, then it's like, well, I guess I can just, it'll be
you got to
fine.
be careful, because
to,
every day can become the I don't have to work today day.
Right.
That's the other part. The other side of the intentionality coin is, okay, we draw the line now, and it's time to push through to the end.
Well, intentionality is about discipline, and discipline goes both ways.
Discipline. Nobody likes discipline.
discipline.
But you know what? Like this past weekend, what a great long weekend. I had a blast with a couple neighbors. We ate together, we drank together, we went and did the margarita pour off together. It was fantastic. But this morning, I'll be darned if I wasn't ready to get back to work. I mean, I like my routine. I love my work. I love my job. And when you take those breaks and give yourself that, you're ready. You have energy and excitement about getting back to the work.
I almost had disdain for Labor Day, because I had just been back for a week since my vacation. I'm like,
yeah.
Really? Already?
Yeah, you were ready to keep going.
I want to keep going.
Right.
Why is there always a holiday when I don't want it? And so
that's awesome.
It is what it is, and you need the breaks.
Yeah.
You need the intentionality. You will find that those that are successful, and let's face it, we're not reinventing the wheel here.
No.
Successful business people, you'll see, do not fly by the seat of their pants. They're very intentional. They have very, not methodical, but they're very intentional about what they do each and every day.
Yeah.
And all the facets of their life.
Yes.
Yeah.
From their food to
that's
even the crazy ones, like Steve Jobs, he was very intentional about, but it was all from a simplifying his life.
Yes.
He wore the same outfit every day because he wanted the simplicity of not having to make that decision.
Uniform, baby.
He got on tangents about, eating only fruits, but he was very intentional. It wasn't like, I think today I'm going to eat only fruits. No, he did the whole shooting match. And I think the more we do that without becoming crazy about it, but the more that we do that kind of thing, I think the better off we all are in the long run.
Yes.
Yep. And so now we're going to go into a somewhat mysterious biz tool.
Somewhat mysterious, because it says Dave explains.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sean and I are not really comfortable with this ever, but here goes.
Yeah.
Really? You don't trust me, guys? You don't trust me?
Just a little scared.
Okay.
Scared.
Y'all know Fiverr.
Yes.
Y'all know Elance and Odesk and all of those wonderful things where people who are much better than you do great and mighty things, and you pay a pittance for it, and
Yes.
you look really cool.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Since Molly, you're on your laptop.
Yes.
And those of you on YouTube can see her on it. Go to envato.com. Envato.com.
Envato.
Yeah, people can see that you're watching porn.
I am photoshopping as God intended.
Photoshopping.
Our little
What
photoshopping.
part of her?
Moving on to Envato.
Go to envato.com.
Envato.com.
And you'll think, whoa, what is this?
Whoa, what is this?
Tell me about it.
Tell me about it, Dave.
You do creative. We'll do the rest. Oh, man, I like the sound of that.
Envato is a marketplace for people who do online stuff. And I'm not talking like Fiverr. Like, okay, the most popular website backbone is WordPress. Well, Envato has a part called Theme Forest, which is nothing but themes for websites that you can use with WordPress. They've got some for some of the other ones. They have Code Canyon, which is for like plugins and
HTML,
other things, HTML and other things. And then
So you just pay for pre-made.
you pay for
things.
pre-made stuff.
I got you.
Awesome.
And they even have like Photoshop actions for like some of the things that you'd like to be able to do in Photoshop
Yay.
but you really don't have the expertise to know all the intricacies of it.
Right.
They have. I've used it for several different things. BIZ, the original BIZ magazine was a purchased magazine template through the Envato marketplace that
Just give away our secret.
I'm sorry.
No, God.
Now we tweaked the living mess out of it, but it was we got the idea from it, and it cost me like $45
Wow.
for that.
You can't go out to dinner for that.
No, especially not
Jeez.
here.
Well, I don't know where you guys go out to do.
But y'all are crazy. These people are cray. You know, I find cray,
No comment.
cray. But and you know, some people say, man, y'all's website looks cool, or your this looks cool, and it's like, look, I don't know jack squat about what I'm doing. I just know where to go to find the stuff. I am a great assembler.
Yes.
And so I like taking things and putting, you know, other people's work to good use. And this is a place where, and you know, you're supporting the coders and the designers and stuff by buying it instead of just ripping off their design, you know, from a Google search or something.
Yeah.
And it, again, the buy-in is relatively cheap. I don't think there's anything on there higher than like $99.
Wow.
And I've been able to use it for several items. And so if you're trying to take your business digital, or if you're working in the digital space, the Envato Market is a great place. And if you do that kind of thing, you can put your stuff on Envato and have other people buy it. It's a great clearinghouse for those types of things. So that's going to do it for the Biz Tools podcast.
Right on.
Remember, if you have any questions, send them to ask@thebiztools.com, or you can comment in the section below under the show notes.
Yes.
Or you can find us on Twitter. We are at thebiztools.com and
at the Biz Tools.
At the Biz Tools.
And on
then
Facebook at /Biz Tools Podcast.
Biz Tools Podcast. Okay. Thanks. Have a great day.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Got questions? Post them in the comment section of the show notes. We'll answer them. Find out more at thebiztools.com/thepodcast. Until next time, applied knowledge is power.